Welcome back to another video. Today I have designed a Gonin cassette train from Sydney. As usual, these are all renders from Bricklink Studio and this is not built in real life. The cassette is one of my favourite trains, but the Tangara is still my favourite. And one of the hardest details to replicate on this cassette train was the curved walls. The cassette train has curved walls on the top section, not before the curve at the roof, but you can see how subtly angled the curve is. Starting off with the T-car, it obviously has a pantograph for a better weight distribution along the train, but it has a very nice double-decker section that is integrated into the curve of the walls nicely. It is an odd length, and Lego doesn't make any grill bricks like I required in an odd length, so I have just used 3 1x1 plates stacked on top to replicate the grills. The doors might look very simple, but they're actually not. They extend 3 studs into the carriages because of the half line down the middle, and this is 5 stud wide, so it can also create more challenges, as well as I had to integrate it in half a plate, or rather 1 plate in. And this was especially challenging, trying to get all the proportions of the doors looking right. I haven't made the older style doors with the grooves inside where the air could come out, but because that would be too finicky. If I ever make a S set, I will fix that by using black stickers to make it look like the grooves. The roof section also has flutes on the double-decker section. This was especially hard to replicate because of the way I've made this train, especially around making every part of it fluted. It doesn't line up perfectly to the angled bits, more on that in a minute, but it looks well enough for me right now. The angled bits here are directly copied from my Tangara with minimal changes, including making the top panels to make it look better and integrate it better. Underneath here I've used grill slopes on this so that it covers all the holes while still keeping profile. Ideally this would be fluted as well, but that was not going to happen anytime soon. It is slightly collided into the grill slopes, but I'll raise it up by half a plate when I do build this in real life, whenever that may be. The gangways were also some of the hardest elements of the train. The gangways are very smooth with the extruded panels on the outside just to make it more safe like the real train, even though this is still not a covered gangway, rather an open gangway, but it does the job and looks pretty good. The gap on the top is pretty hard to fill in, so I just left it as is. I'll tinker with it if I build this in real life. The gangway leads me nicely to the coupling. Like Max Productions Hitachi and Harris trains, I have used a knuckle coupler on the cassette like the real train, represented by a gorilla fist. I couldn't attach it in the way I needed it to and keep its profile, so I had to extend it out a bit more to attach it better. The couplings lead me nice to the bogies. Don't get me started on how detailed and part dense these bogies are. These bogies are the most detailed bogies I've ever done. with all the bars and other rounded elements that extrude outside of the wheels. This is even more detailed than my Waratah Bogey that I have done, which will be shared in due course. And also, it is also 5-stud gauge, like my Tangara and XO5 tram. The Urbis 3 as well, but that's another story for another time. These ride on airbag suspension. Making these bogies was especially challenging, especially around the bars, as well as trying to make everything look right, with the scarce amount of photos and details showing every part of the bogie. Now moving on to the C car. The C car stays very similar, except for it has a cab. The cab, starting with the window behind the driver's door, also used to drop down when the cassettes didn't have air conditioning. I have a few photos of mine that I might put on the screen now, but anyways, a nice touch. The next thing over is the driver's door. This is 2 studs wide rather than the 2.5 of the normal doors. Since there are no pieces that can perfectly recreate the curved windows, I have used 4 quarter tiles to make a round window effect. Next thing, the driver's window. This can open, represented by the black line there, and since it's an odd length, I've used a bracket, and I'll add a sticker there if I do build it in real life. There was a black sticker here, represented with the same technique as my Sidus this XO5. Now on to the actual cab. Starting underneath the cab and behind the cab, I've used very similar design to the gangway, especially around this area here, as well as a horn, a trip valve or something. Don't know really what it's called. The horn's represented by binoculars, as well as an air hose to make it look more interconnected. Just like on the Max Production 16's Hitachi. Wait. Just like on Max Production 16's Harris. The windows are slightly different, but the size of the whole cab stays very similar to the gangways. I have made one of the newer cabs fitted with destos just to make it a bit easier, and so I didn't have to attach the headlights in a harder spot, which the headlights are just rounded plates. The roof of this cab area has whatever this is called. If anyone knows, they can tell me in the comments, which I probably don't know the name to, so please tell me. I haven't made the 2 car sets yet, but I will make them in the future. The 2 car sets are based off of the Newcastle sets. And I forgot to talk about the Pantograph. The Pantograph is like a diamond shape rather than the 7, like I call it, like the double boom design, which is more like a V. I have used snowboard pieces, which many of you thinking, why is there snowboard pieces? Why can't it be 42013 Belleville ice skate things? Well, as it turns out, the K-set Pantograph shoes contacts don't go into a point, they rather go into a more squared look. So this will be the final piece for the Pantograph. The Pantograph base is nicely detailed with the scarce number of photos on the internet, or maybe because those sources don't exist. The rest of the train is just mirrored, rather copied and pasted, but flipped. 180 degrees or something like that. This video was a bit of a short one since this is not how I designed it, it's just how I designed it in the digital form. So if I do build this in real life, I will make a proper video explaining this, just like my Tangara video. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe, otherwise you'll miss out on all the future videos, and bye for now.